Hello, so here's the fucking game plan. I dyed my hair black, by the way, and the ring keeps falling off my fingers because actually the left side of my body is more thin and smaller, and the right side of my body, the skin is thicker and rougher. But that's part of being a non human. And you can actually analyze that. If you analyze the skin on the left and right, the left side for some reason is more delicate and the right side is more rough and masculine. So that's what's going on there. That's why I put the ring on my right finger because it's the right hand is thicker than the left one. I don't know if you can observe that in the video, but my right hand is thicker than my left hand, and like the skin is rougher and like whatnot. I'm not certain why that is. It's some sort of alien thing because the skin on my left arm is so delicate and thin. But anyways, the game plan essentially is to live this way until I'm 40. Now you have to understand my set of circumstances. Why am I choosing to live as poor as fuck on disability until I'm 40 years old? Well, right now I'm 26. So that's another 14 years because I don't feel like I'm capable of working 40 hours a week. Well, one reason for this is that I'm a cisgender female. Despite looking like a man, as I say in my videos, I'm Lain Iwakura, a cisgender female. And I've taken a lot of fucking abuse from people. And it really screwed me up mentally. Essentially, when you rape a woman 40 times, it's going to screw her up. Especially 6 months ago, someone beat the shit out of me. A retarded woman beat the shit out of me. So anyways, what I'm saying is I've been so brutally abused, let alone I also kind of abuse myself. Because I put so much extreme pressure on myself to figure shit out. And I work so fucking hard, mostly for smokes, like I hustle for not really hustling, but I'm just buying cigarettes and smoking them. And I be working so fucking hard and I don't even have a job. If anybody who I resemble, it's probably mostly like Jacob Jones. Because he makes his money, I think, off of smoking cigarettes. I don't think he has a real job. And I don't make any money at all, and I'm just trying to get cigarettes because I can't go one day without cigarettes. It's like impossible. I can't go one day without smoking 20 to 30 cigarettes in a day. Usually I smoke about 24 a day, and I'm smoking Double Diamond cigars and inhaling the cigar smoke. So my goal is to live like this until I'm 40. You also have to understand, not only do I abuse myself brutally by doing brutal introspection now, by trying to be the best that I can be, and it's actually worked, because even though I don't even have a job, it's made me very badass. That one of my things I have to do is that I used to be an addict, so I have to be sober for another 14 years, I feel like, before I can really work 40 to 60 hours a week. And I'd have to quit cigarettes in order to do that also, unless I have more self-control with cigarettes by then and can smoke maybe 2 or 3 a day. But I'm saying, like, I just have to improve myself. And you have no clue how hard it is. Every day, the sheer amount of willpower required to be sober while also working really hard and doing deep introspection as a fucking non-human is extremely fucking difficult. And because of this, I'm deemed as a schizophrenic who's accomplishing nothing. When in reality, I've actually, invented something so beautiful and brilliant that nobody else can understand it. So what I'm saying is, I'm so addicted to figuring things out and understanding the world, whether it be by indulging in books or trying to figure things out about myself for how complicated I am by deep introspection, that it's more valuable to me than working at Pizza Hut and learning nothing. You see what I'm saying? So it's sort of like this very ghetto kind of thing, but also extremely badass and high class. Because even though I'm poor as fuck and I have no opportunities in life because I don't have a significant income and I don't make any money and it's my fault because I did drugs for 6 years, although it's not my fault that I was raped 40 times and assaulted. So that really fucking screwed me up in the head, let alone my schizophrenia being so extremely interesting and hard to fucking deal with, that it's made me into this person who just functionally has to work on themselves more than they have to work on making money. Like if I wanted to make money, I'd have to go to the dead end job and stand there with my mouth shut, learning absolutely nothing and moving objects around so I can get some bills in my bank account. And then, yeah, I'll say I have money, and usually people use that to say that they're better than everybody else. They say I have more money than you and a fancier car, so my dick is bigger than yours. When in reality, I'm over here doing the Suicide Boys thing, where I'm saying I don't have shit, but I'm badass as fuck. It's a complete opposite. For example, I'm not very experienced in doing this, but I was in the streets smoking crack. And then for the past fucking 2 years, I've been philosophizing about crack and God and the Quran and fucking like the Bible and fucking like the truth of the universe. For example, I was able to figure out that by being born as God, I broke the laws of physics. Because there's no way that an egg within my mother, who would be the mother of God, there's no way an egg could be formed that would form someone into not only a non-human, and how could that happen by the laws of physics, but also someone who is God, which is non-physical. Then there's no possible way that something like that could be done. So I figured out that I actually broke the laws of physics, which is actually the most brilliant scientific discovery of all time, in my opinion. That it's possible then to break the laws of physics, let alone the sheer amount of other things that I know that you don't know, that I've done by doing deep introspection as someone who believes they are God and is not a human, by evidence of not only my body, but my mind and lack thereof of a body within my own mind, as I am to others only being observed by them and not within their own minds. So that allows me to be someone who is extremely different than anyone else, essentially the opposite of what a human being actually is. For someone who is meant to understand themselves to a deeper point, and by doing so I have allowed myself to become as most intelligent as I possibly can, let alone should I be doing my introspection in my room, myself is not evident to you, for you cannot see the sheer beauty of my mind, like that chart I showed you, which is my perception, or let alone my body being female and I not being a man. So essentially this brings myself to the point where I'm constantly choosing how should I dress. Should I dress like a female or a man? And I can never fucking decide, which is a very strange thing because like I said, I have reverse gender dysphoria in a way, because I actually believe blatantly that even though I look like a man to the human naked eye, I'm actually a cisgender female, so that I was, during my life before I had died, a trans man, and thus I have this liking of wearing men's clothes despite not being a man in any kind of way, and saying I wish not to have a wife who is a human who I met in real life, because I'm not a man, thus it would be more of a lesbian relationship. And there are all these brutally different things that are non-human that you have to consider like this, that I considered when I was dressing like a female, that it would be very, very attractive to me to have a husband, should I be seen as a female in any kind of way, even though that never happens, and I'm actually usually bullied by people for no reason about every single time I go outside, which I do not understand. It's either the fact that I have face tattoos or that my personality appears bizarre to the human. For example, something alien that I do is that I see these objects, like let's say my watch, and I say, look at my watch, do you like it? Do you like my watch? Which is a very alien thing to do, saying, do you like this thing that I possess, despite not knowing that I am an alien? You understand what I'm saying? All sorts of little things that constitute who I am, that it is more important to understand myself through a sheer deep introspection by making myself stronger and red pilling myself, and knowing the truth of the universe by philosophy, if I was born by a non-human egg by breaking the laws of physics, then that thus proves that Norism is the one true philosophy of the universe, and can be wrote in my book Noristic Thoughts that I choose not to write because I am fucking lazy. So essentially, what I actually have to do is improve myself so that someday I can build a career and make loads of money. When I'm about the age of 40, I feel like I might actually be ready to do it. And I feel no guilt, for I feel as a woman it should be not my responsibility to be working as hard as a man should. Despite being seen as a man by the whole of the population and they not knowing that I am God. You see what I'm saying?